Hey, what's up guys? Good morning, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kieran. I'd love it if you stuck around and subscribed. For today's video, I really wanted to address something that is actually really important to me, and I think it's really important to talk about on social media because there's definitely a stigma around mental health, and I know that in our generation we are getting better with it and we do like to emphasize self-care and self-love. But I think there's still a side to it that people don't really talk about, and I also don't really talk about it. I do try to keep my channel very real and raw, and I do like to talk about mental health, but not really in the way that I want to talk about it today. So I kind of wanted to take you through a day in my life when I've been kind of stuck in a rut and I'm trying to get out of it. So the backstory behind that is I've been dealing with depression for about 2 or 3 years now, and at the beginning-ish of lockdown, I think from like March or April, I actually started therapy, which hands down, not over-exaggerating at all, it did change my life, and I saw myself make so much progress over the last few months. And when I was talking to my therapist about that, she kind of highlighted that to me and I started to feel really proud of myself. However, when I have a bad day or I'm feeling a bit sad, it's really easy to forget that progress and think that you're not doing anything right and that there's something wrong with you. And I personally become really hard on myself, and I think it's because when you've dealt with having so many bad days for so long, it kind of becomes your new normal. And then I started to have way more good days than bad days, which I'm beyond grateful for, but it was a bit weird to me because that's not exactly my normal yet. And I guess subconsciously I started to panic, and the last few days I've almost been self-sabotaging. I had one bad day and I freaked out. I was like, great, I'm becoming depressed again, this isn't working. I thought I was doing well, but maybe I'm not. And I just worked myself into a spiral. And for the past few days, I felt really down, I felt really sad. I've just not been feeling my best whatsoever. I've definitely been stuck in a rut, and that's just my story. I know that you can be stuck in a rut and not have depression. You can have a bad day, but every other day is usually pretty fine. This can apply to everybody. Everybody has a bad day, and that is okay, and that is just something that I want to come to terms with today. And I think it's something that I come to terms with all the time. It's something I have to keep relearning and keep telling myself it's okay if I'm not feeling so good one day, and also just reminding myself it's actually natural. Nobody's going to have a good day every single day. It's natural to sometimes have a worse day than yesterday, and instead of freaking out about that, I need to kind of just learn to accept that. And I think talking about it actually really helps. That's the other thing that I've been doing in the past few days, is I just completely isolated myself from anybody that I usually like to talk to about these things. I think subconsciously I knew that if I addressed it I would get better, and it just went along with all this kind of self-sabotage, thinking I deserved to be in a bad place rather than progressing and being in a better place. So I ended up calling my sister last night because I was just kind of really fed up of feeling sad and empty and lost, and she was like, you're making so much progress, and when you're in a bad spot you don't recognise it because that's something that you ignore when you're in a bad spot, but I'm telling you this now, I can see you've made progress and you're so much more confident and happy, blah blah blah. And then she said to me, and this is the key thing that I would love for someone to take away and try themselves, because this has actually been a game changer and it's only been one day. She said to me to write a note to myself that I can read in the morning, and then I can carry it around with me for the rest of the day, and whenever I need a reminder of, you know, whatever it is that I want to be reminded of, I can look at that note. So I have my note here. I'm not going to read it because it's very cheesy and obviously quite personal, but it was the first thing I read this morning and it instantly just made me smile. And I like the idea of that because it's something that I wrote, and I think a lot of people, especially girls in this generation, and I mean in every generation, are dealing with difficulties with self-esteem, and I personally find it really hard to take a compliment. So the fact that I've basically got a post-it full of compliments on here that I've written myself, it means even more than somebody saying it to me, because at one point or another I believed these things, and I can carry this with me now for the rest of the day and think, actually, I do believe these things deep down, and I should believe these things. I deserve to be happy. The only thing stopping you, the only thing in your way is you. I really, really think that's a nice sentiment, and I'm gonna add that to my daily routine. I'm gonna write a new note for myself every single day, and it's gonna be something that I carry around with me, because I really think that such a small thing is actually really, really nice and helpful, and I just thought it was a really good idea. So I'm not taking any credit for that. That was fully my sister's idea, but that's the first thing that I did this morning, and now I'm going to spend the rest of the day just continuing to get myself out of this rut whilst also focusing on medical school. And I think this is also another thing that is important to highlight, because a lot of videos I've done and a lot of videos that I've seen, people take specific days off to get out of a rut, and all they're doing is focusing on their mental health, which I love. I think that that's such a good thing to do, but realistically, at least during the week, most of us have work to do or studying to do or whatever it is, and for me that is medical school. So I want to show you like a realistic day in my life where I'm working on my mental health and also on my degree. So on my timetable for today, I actually can't remember it, let me just have a look. So actually in a few videos now I've said, oh, I can't wait to start clinical placement, I'll be on hospital wards soon, and I got my timetable for the next few weeks, and that is just not the case. With COVID and everything, they are trying to limit the number of students on the wards at one time, which I totally understand. So for the next 3 weeks I'm based on my neurology rotation, but only one of those weeks do I get to be on a ward. So for this week I'm still on Zoom and online classes, and I do have a few in-person tutorials. So today I've got an in-person tutorial from 11 till 12:30, and then I've got another one from 2 till 3, and then I've got a Zoom class online at 4 till 5. The two in-person ones are in two different hospitals, which is just great, but luckily there's a big gap in between, so I definitely have time to drive from one to the other. So yeah, right now it is 9:30. I let myself have like a semi-lie-in, I guess. I woke up at about 8:30 and I just enjoyed my morning. I got ready, put some makeup on, did my hair, which I think is a really big thing, because when you're stuck in a rut or in a negative headspace, it's really easy to neglect yourself and you just stop doing the things that you know will make you feel better. So I put on a little bit of makeup, feeling good about myself. I'm gonna make myself a really good breakfast, and then for the next hour or so I'm just gonna do some prep for the tutorials coming up today, because I haven't done that yet, and yeah, just get some things done, take it easy but also be productive. So I can't recommend that enough, to be honest, because you can't let your life stop just because you're feeling a little bit sad, and that is something that's taken me years to learn. So yeah, I'm gonna go make myself, I think, some fruit and yogurt, because I just cut myself a fresh pineapple. I've got mango, raspberries, and I'm just really looking forward to that, and then I'm gonna get on with some work. Okay, so I did as much prep as I could in the time that I had, but now it is like 10:30 and I looked it up. It's probably going to take me about 15 minutes to get to this hospital, but since I've never been there before, I'm going to leave a little bit early so that just in case I get lost, because knowing me, I probably will. And also I have no idea if there's parking there or anything like that, so I'm just trying to be organised and prepared, but I've got everything I need in my bag, got my mask, and yeah, I'm gonna head off.
We need to think where they will go after, will they be able to go home or do they need placement?
Okay, so I just got back from that tutorial. It actually ended a little bit early, so it's like 12 p.m. now, and I've got like 2 hours as a break before my next tutorial, so I'm actually going to take myself on a little lunch date, which I'm really looking forward to. Sometimes you just have to treat yourself and know that you are allowed to treat yourself. You don't have to have an excuse to. So I'm going to go out, buy myself a Subway salad, because firstly I don't really have that much food in the fridge at the moment, and secondly I'm just feeling like it, and it's a nice kind of healthy option, but it's also a treat. And I'm going to take it to a nearby park and I'm just going to sit there, read my book, enjoy my salad, and I'm really looking forward to that. Just a little bit of me time before I get back, and hopefully I'll still have like an hour or so to do some work before the next tutorial. Okay, so it's been a few hours since I last updated you, but basically it is now about 5:30 and I've just gotten changed and ready for the gym because I booked myself a slot at 6 p.m. and I am so happy I've done that because nothing makes me feel better than exercising. So I've written myself out a little full body circuit and I'm so excited to do that. I'm going to head off in a few minutes and I can't wait. This is something that I haven't done in like 3 or 4 days, and I can really tell a difference in my mental health when I don't work out consistently. If I take like more than 2 days off, I do start to see my mood drop. So this is going to be very good for me, and this is like the best form of self-care for me personally. So yeah, can't wait. From the gym a few minutes ago and I just had a quick shower, and I thought before I end off this video I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about getting yourself out of a rut, because I actually feel like 20 times better than I did yesterday, and the main thing I changed was my mindset. Instead of letting myself stay in that negative headspace, I was really trying to keep my thoughts positive and enjoy everything I was doing today. I was making a conscious effort to enjoy the work I was doing, enjoy the learning I was doing, enjoy the people I was with, and I think, I mean, I'm stating the obvious here, but that is what it's all about. You need to keep your mindset positive, and it's so easy to slip back into a sad, low place, and then it's way easier to just stay there than to get yourself back up and keep going. So I think my main tip for that would be to just really appreciate everything around you. Like, for example, today I drove to my first tutorial because the hospital it was in was really far away, and when I got back, the space that I had left, someone else had parked in, and then later on when I was going back to my car to drive somewhere else, that car that had taken my parking spot had a ticket, and I mean obviously I felt really bad for that person that got a ticket, but all I could think was, oh my god, if I hadn't have moved my car, that would have been me. And they weren't even parked in an illegal spot or anything like that. They were in a non-permit area, so it's not because they didn't have a permit. Like, if I'd have gotten the ticket, I would have been annoyed because there would have been no reason for it, but I've literally been so grateful since that moment, just thinking that could have been me. I could have been left with a hefty bill, and I felt really grateful for that. Or like when I went for my walk, I was just kind of looking around and appreciating the beauty of nature, especially since we can't really go anywhere still at the moment. At least we can still appreciate the things around us, the pretty flowers. And it sounds really cheesy, but it's true, it's valid. The minute you realise how much you have to be grateful for is the minute that you realise there's no point staying in that sad place. You have so many reasons to be happy, and when you're in a low place, especially in a depressed kind of episode or phase, it's very easy to see all the negatives and ignore all of the positives just to stay in that spot. So I'm not saying this from a professional's point of view. Obviously, I'm not professionally equipped to be telling you exactly what to do. This is just what works for me, and I wanted to share that because I think it's an important thing, and I think people should talk a little bit more about mental health, and we should really erase the stigma around it because it's annoying. To be frank, it's annoying. People should not be ashamed of dealing with mental health issues. Harry once said to me actually that the way you treat an infection with antibiotics or cancer with chemotherapy is the same as treating your depression or your anxiety or your OCD with antidepressants or therapy, whatever it may be. It's an illness all the same, and it shouldn't be stigmatized so much. You shouldn't be ashamed to admit if you're struggling with a mental health illness. So yeah, I think I'm done ranting on about that now. I'm going to actually just enjoy my evening because I got everything on my to-do list done. I finished all of my notes on ophthalmology, which I've been working on for the past few days, and I got everything done. I was productive and I had a really nice kind of self-care day as well. It was a really good day, and I'm really glad that I filmed. It really definitely motivates me as well to film a day like that, because I could have easily just been sad still and unmotivated, but I'm glad that I got to take you with me, and I feel like it's just up from here. Tomorrow is going to be even better, and I feel like I've really reset my mindset, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm in a good place. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, then please subscribe for more, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!